Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I give you a huge and happy welcome. Of course, don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and give me a huge thumbs up because it shows you, or it shows me, how much you like my videos. And of course, leave a comment, good or bad, all are welcome. Okay, so you're probably wondering what this video is about, and this is going to be another paranormal story time, and I know how much you like that. This does have a twist at the end, so if you would like to know what kind of paranormal story this is, please keep watching because it really does have a twisted ending. This story is going to be about the Anguished Man. Now, some of you have already heard about this painting, some of you have not, and the Anguished Man is a painting. Basically, this came about back in June of 2010, and Sean Robinson is the current owner of it. I'm going to insert a picture now so that you can see what the painting looks like. You can pause the video if you really want to take a really deep look at it. When I first saw it, to tell you the truth, I wasn't affected immediately. I had to kind of simmer with the story and kind of really read into it. And I've seen very few, to be honest with you, I've seen one TV show that actually did a story on it, and I haven't seen it since. I really had to dig in and do research on it to get any more information. But I was finally able, between all the stories that I read, to dig up the information that I have now that I'm going to share with you that seemed to sit well with me. So like I said, it first appeared back on June 2010. Sean Robinson is the guy who owns it now. And when he got the painting, I believe this painting used to belong to his grandmother, who had it in her, I believe it was in her attic for about 25 years. And she said she would see a dark figure of a man around her house, and she would hear strange noises. There was a lot of moaning and crying that she heard. So she eventually just locked it up in her attic and forgot about it. I believe the painting then went to his aunt, and upon her passing, he got the painting. So when he finally got the painting, shortly after the painting was in his house, all the same things started happening. He, was always a skeptic. He did not believe in the paranormal, and after his experience with this painting, he became a believer. Now, apparently the artist committed suicide shortly after creating this painting, and it was said that he had cut himself and with his own blood made the painting. Now, if you paint, which I do a little bit of painting in one of my videos, you see me, I show you a painting that I've done, so I know what it takes to paint, and I can only do it when I'm happy. I mean, I can't imagine feeling depressed or sad or really, really sad or struggling with something and trying to paint. I was stuck on the story because I started to think, where was his head at? How did he feel? What happened in his life that would make him think that taking his life was the thing to do? And he must have been, he really, really must have been in a really bad place to do this. So I took all this into consideration and I just continued reading the story. So it does continue. And on June 2010, a few years later, Sean Robinson, has the painting now. He was married at the time, I believe, to his wife. I don't know if they're married anymore. It seems like they separated as I continue to tell you the storyline. But in 2010, he was still with his family. And he put the painting in his house downstairs in a cupboard. And if you're wondering why I'm looking down, it's because I have some notes. I want to, go through the timeline and give you the best information. So, okay. So he is now in his house. He put the painting down in a cupboard, and the activity worsened for him. And he started hearing crying coming from the corner of his bedroom. Of course, that was with his wife that, he shared this bedroom with, so she heard it too. And eventually a dark figure started to appear at the end of his bed. Whew. So as that freaking apparition would come to them in their bedroom, they were able to see that it was a man, and he would just stand there and stare at them. And it wasn't clear enough for them to see features, but they could definitely see he was pretty tall, slender build, and he was a middle-aged man. They wanted to see more of his features. That I don't even understand how they were able to write this, because if it were me, I would have been scared out of my mind. But since I guess they were together and they were both seeing it, they were able to kind of remember the details of it. This was when the painting was downstairs in his cupboard, mind you. That's when the crying in the bedroom and the appearance of the apparition would happen. he decided to bring the painting into his bedroom. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with him. So, going forward to June 2011, he set up a camera and he decided to record the painting 3 nights in a row. So he started his recording between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. And as he started to, roll back the film and see the footage, he heard, as he was watching the footage, he heard a lot of noises, the crying, the moaning, everything like that. And normally things would happen usually around that 3 a.m. hour. At one point at 3:25 a.m. on one night when he was doing the filming, the painting fell over and then an orb shot out of the painting and was visible hovering over the painting. He also experienced at one point when he stepped out into the hallway to investigate what some of the noises were, he experienced a misty smoke surround him and then it just kind of dissipated. So going all the way forward to 2013, he apparently moved in with his parents and he brought the painting with him. Now, the story is a little bit weird because what I'm going to tell you now in 2013, I couldn't find a chronological order, so I'm like kind of going back and forth. But in 2013, in May of 2013, when he moved in with his parents, apparently he was divorced. It doesn't say that he got divorced or separated, but something must have happened that he went to live with his parents and brought the painting. So when he got to his father's house, everything started again. All the same noises, all the same paranormal activity, the shadows, and of course that apparition appearing. One night in his old house with his wife, when he was still with her, apparently his son was pushed down the stairs. Nothing happened to him and he was okay. But in 2013, when he decided to go move in with his parents for a while, the same thing happened to his father. He was also pushed down the stairs along with all the other paranormal activity that was happening. Now, his son and his father are okay, but now he has taken that painting and put it in storage. Now, the ending to this is basically that he joined a paranormal group. Why do you think he joined the paranormal group? Nowhere in this story does it say that he was ever interested in the paranormal. He was a skeptic. Nowhere in the stories does it say that he's decided to look into the paranormal and see why things happen and see why, there are ghosts and why, all these hauntings all over the world take place. It doesn't say anywhere, and it doesn't seem like he really cared as to why. All he knows is that this particular painting, there's a lot of paranormal activity associated with it. And of course, he's got proof. If you want, I'm not going to give him any views on YouTube, but I do believe if you look up his name and you go on YouTube, you're going to see some of his footage and you'll probably actually see the painting. It's about this big because as I was looking up information, I just wanted to see what was on YouTube and I, came across his videos. But you'll see why I didn't want to actually see any of his YouTube videos. I just don't want to give him credit for anything. Because now that he has this painting, now mind you, don't you think it's bad enough that the painting itself is haunted? Don't you think that it's pretty horrible the way this man died? Like, if it is an actual human being attached to this object, attached to his own painting, don't you think that it's enough that he was depressed, he was sad, he was going through a horrible, horrible time in his life that kind of made him go a little crazy, cut himself, put his blood onto the canvas and then kill himself? I mean, don't you think that that's bad enough? Wouldn't you, as let me not say that. Wouldn't you as I'm going to okay. Sorry. I'm going on a tangent here. I want to say so much because I'm kind of upset. As a human being, these are my opinions. I just want to put that out there. I'm not really faulting him in any way. It's his painting and he can do what he chooses with it. But if I had the painting, knowing that all of this activity is going on, obviously this guy, if it is a human being attached to this painting, he needs help. And that's his way of reaching out. That's his way of saying, please help me. And so hearing that this guy who owns the painting now has joined a paranormal group, and is taking this painting all over England to all these other paranormal places, where I should say all these other houses and castles and places that are already haunted, and he's taking this painting into these places. For what? For ghost on ghost activity, of course. So the reason why I titled this video The Haunting of the Anguished Man is because, like I said, isn't it bad enough that he committed suicide and then, you know, is now attached to this painting for who knows how long, because if no one stops to help him and no one stops to do any research on him to try to reach him and say, you know what, guy, whatever happened to you is done. You're no longer alive. Move on. You know, move on and go to a better place. Nope. He's now taking the painting and taking the suffering and the anguish of this particular person and putting him against the ghost. So my thing is, do you stop having rights when you die? Like, I started thinking about this, and like, what if I died and attached myself to something and then somebody else had it, figured out that I was attached to it, or that I was trying to speak through it, or whatever the heck happens after you die and you don't move on to wherever you're supposed to go, and then they threw me into another haunted place where this is my item, this is what I am attached to, this is the only conduit I have to speak to the living, and now I've got to defend my item. Now I've got to fight whatever is in this haunted place, because as you know, haunted places don't only have haunted humans, they have haunted beings who have never been human. So this anguished man is now being forced to face these other entities and these other ghosts and defend his item. I mean, don't you think that's pretty screwed up? Don't you think that, I don't know, this is a whole new part of the paranormal. I mean, what do you think would happen if they took Annabelle and brought her to the Amityville Horror House? What do you think would happen? Do you think that's a great idea? I mean, isn't that kind of the same thing as to what he's doing? Okay, I'm gonna stop this tangent. Basically, that's where the painting is at now. He has the painting, and I think this is ongoing. I haven't really done research as far as to, you know, what he's up to right now with the painting. I mean, I know it is 2017, but just to think that that's what he was doing is really upsetting, and it kind of just opens up a whole new bag of worms with the paranormal. Please, please, please tell me what you think about my perspective about the Anguished Man, and if I'm just, you know, going overboard with this, or I'm just a little bit too upset about it, or I'm just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Hey, if you want to put that in the description box, if you think I am, if you're a skeptic and you don't believe any of this, hey, I'm gonna read all your comments anyway, but please, you know, tell me what you think. Tell me if you think this is right or wrong, or whether you think I'm just making too big of a deal of it, or if it doesn't matter to you at all. But yeah, this is the end of my story. I just wanted to bring this out. I wanted to talk about it because if it's true, which I am 90% believing that it is, this is pretty bad. To not have the decency to want to help whatever's attached to that painting. But anyway, again, this is the end of my video. I really hope that I see some of your comments in the description box below, because then maybe I won't feel so crazy. Maybe I'll feel a little better about what you have to say about it. And as usual, I just want to say thank you for watching. I appreciate every last one of you, especially to all my new subscribers who have just subscribed. Thank you. And yeah, until my next video, be well, be good to each other, and I'll see you soon.